Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 156 based on novel. So let's start. Since Elder Qianhe had given it, he naturally accepted it as well. These 12 invitations. Luo Feng sat in the courtyard, gazing at the night scene of Yuan City with a slight frown. The other 11 invitations can be set aside. The most crucial one is the invitation from Palace Master Yuan Xiong. Among the 3 great Palace Masters, only Palace Master Yuan Xiong invited me. Luo Feng was a bit confused. This didn't match the intelligence he had gathered. Among the 3 great Palace Masters, Palace Master Gai Dao required no further discussion. He was focused on artifact forging, and the elders around him were all interested in the same field. Naturally, he wouldn't take the initiative to invite Luo Feng. But the fact that Palace Master Wei Yang hadn't extended an invitation didn't seem right. Palace Master Wei Yang enjoys recruiting elders the most. Although he joined Yuan City later, he has gathered the largest number of elders in the entire city. Generally, any newly promoted elder would receive his invitation. Luo Feng thought to himself. Yet, he didn't invite me. The city had over 700 individuals at the elder level strength, and 327 had passed the elder trial to obtain the status of an elder. Palace Master Wei Yang actively recruited many elders, which gave him the strongest influence in the entire city. Just as well, I also dislike the way Palace Master Wei Yang operates, Luo Feng thought. The forces engaged in theft and plundering were all under Palace Master Wei Yang's command. Tomorrow, I'll meet Palace Master Yuan Xiong. Luo Feng was a bit curious about him. After all, he was the founder of Yuan City. As the city's founder, Palace Master Yuan Xiong's cave dwelling was originally the largest in the city. However, Palace Master Wei Yang later occupied multiple cave dwellings and merged them into one, forcibly making it much larger than Palace Master Yuan Xiong's. Luo Feng arrived at the main entrance of the cave. God Emperor Luo Feng? The large gate was wide open, and a thin man stood there, smiling as he looked at Luo Feng. The Palace Master has been waiting for you. God Emperor, please follow me. This thin man wore loose robes, yet his body was covered with thick hair. Thank you, General 3, Luo Feng said politely. Palace Master Yuan Xiong had 3 puppets under his command, each possessing strength comparable to a perfect God Emperor level chaotic origin life form. In other words, if these 3 puppets were ranked among the God Emperors of Yuan City, they would all be in the top 50. No wonder he's the founder of Yuan City, his foundation is deep, and even his subordinates are so powerful, Luo Feng thought. This was far superior to the inheritance of the 2 founding ancestors of Origin Continent's nations. As he proceeded through the cave, Luo Feng soon saw a figure seated on the ground in a garden, smiling at him. Luo Feng, come, sit. Although Luo Feng had already gathered intelligence on him, this was his first time seeing Palace Master Yuan Xiong in person. His appearance wasn't particularly handsome, but he naturally exuded an endless charm. Upon seeing him, Luo Feng couldn't help but feel a sense of goodwill. Palace Master, I shall take my leave, General 3 said respectfully. Palace Master Yuan Xiong smiled and nodded. Only then did Luo Feng walk over and sit across from him. This Palace Master Yuan Xiong, his aura is indeed very weak. Seeing him up close, Luo Feng could sense that even while sitting, he carried a faint feeling of exhaustion. At this level of cultivation, how could one still feel fatigued? It was inconceivable. Luo Feng even noticed that his life force was barely holding on. It's an old ailment. Palace Master Yuan Xiong personally poured Luo Feng some wine and smiled. Back then, I went hunting with some friends, as we were accustomed to hunting superlimit level chaotic origin life forms. But who would have thought that one of them would break through and become a high-level chaotic origin life form? Facing a high-level chaotic origin life form at close range, I ended up like this. Palace Master Yuan Xiong sighed. There's no way to remove the contamination? Luo Feng asked. Palace Master Yuan Xiong smiled at him. According to the experience recorded in the darkness sacred world, only by jumping out of the cage of one's own spiritual will can one escape this contamination. This is the only way. Faced with a high-level chaotic origin life form, they would have perished instantly. As an expert from the origin world, even his clone in his home world, which shared the same memories, was also contaminated. Clearly, that high-level chaotic origin life form bore deep killing intent, intending to completely annihilate them. Fortunately, Palace Master Yuan Xiong was protected by the origin world and had secret techniques to guard his spiritual will, barely managing to survive. Since then, I could only cultivate my spiritual will, Palace Master Yuan Xiong said with a smile. And, out of sheer boredom, I exchanged merit points in the Nine Rivers Sacred World to apply for building a city, this Yuan city. Luo Feng listened intently. The amount of battle merit required to establish a city was extremely high, which meant that Palace Master Yuan Xiong must have been very powerful before being corrupted and had accumulated a great deal of merit. Even after being contaminated, during the city's construction, he displayed strength superior to that of Palace Master Wei Yan. The only reason he ranked second in the city was that, under the influence of contamination, merely staying consciousness was already difficult. Naturally, he avoided making a move whenever possible and had no interest in competing for power. On one side was Palace Master Yuan Xiong, who refrained from power struggles and rarely took action. On the other was Palace Master Wei Yan, who constantly recruited experts and frequently took action. Naturally, Wei Yan's influence was greater. I heard that Palace Master Yuan Xiong rarely invites God Emperors, Luo Feng said. Why did you invite me this time? You are different. Palace Master Yuan Xiong looked at Luo Feng. Yesterday, after you defeated Elder Qianhe, I inquired about you in the darkness sacred world, speaking with the two God Emperors from your origin continent. Luo Feng was shocked. He had asked the two kingdom ancestors of the origin continent in the darkness sacred world? Although my strength has weakened, I still have some influence, Palace Master Yuan Xiong said with a smile. I found them, and they gave me a brief account of you. Over 1,000 epochs, you advanced from eternal true God to early-stage God Emperor. Then, in another 1,000 epochs, you reached late-stage God Emperor, even suppressing Elder Qianhe. Palace Master Yuan Xiong looked at Luo Feng. You are far stronger than I was in my younger days. Luo Feng secretly shocked. His entire history was laid bare before the other party. I have no hostility toward you, Palace Master Yuan Xiong said with a smile. At this point, I'm merely struggling to survive. Jumping out of the cage of my spiritual will is immensely difficult. I don't even know if I will ever succeed in this lifetime. But I built Yuan City, and I can feel that low-level chaotic origin life-form tribes are infiltrating the city more and more. Palace Master Yuan Xiong gazed at Luo Feng. I fear that one day, Yuan City will be breached, bringing catastrophic disaster to the hundreds of millions of cultivators here. Luo Feng nodded. Cities were built, but they could also be destroyed. Wei Yan's nature is clear. He is extremely selfish. Palace Master Yuan Xiong shook his head. He came to Yuan City to gain resources. If things turn bad, he will only flee to save himself. This city was built by me. The billions of cultivators here are tied to my karma, Palace Master Yuan Xiong said. I don't want to see them perish in a calamity. That's why I invited you here. Palace Master Yuan Xiong looked at Luo Feng. Your talent is beyond Wei Yan's and the others. As long as you grow strong enough, you alone will be far more powerful than all the elders combined. If your strength reaches the required level, I can transfer the city founder's highest authority to you. Palace Master Yuan Xiong looked at Luo Feng. The city founder's authority? Luo Feng was surprised. Yes, the rules of the city were set by me, Palace Master Yuan Xiong said. Right now, I am willing to give Wei Yan more benefits to keep him tied to the city. But I can also choose to reduce his benefits. Of course, you must surpass Wei Yan and Gai Dao in strength first, Palace Master Yuan Xiong said. What kind of strength is required to surpass the two of them? Luo Feng asked. Both of them are Dao cultivators at the half-chaotic origin level, and they have accumulated quite a lot, with plenty of treasures. Palace Master Yuan Xiong laughed. For you to completely surpass them, you would need to cultivate 2 Daos simultaneously, with both reaching the half-chaotic origin level. If you can do that, I will be able to grant you the authority of the city founder. Mastering 2 Daos at the half-chaotic origin level? Right now, his Tao of Life and Tao of Destruction were only at the middle stage God Emperor, and his Tao of Life and Death was only at the early stage God Emperor. I'm still far from that, Luo Feng said. With your talent, it won't take long. Palace Master Yuan Xiong laughed. I have seen talents as extraordinary as yours in the dark sacred world. I believe that within 10,000 epochs, you will reach that level. Palace Master Yuan Xiong, when at full strength, had already been a peerless expert in the dark sacred world, shaking an entire region with his might. If the 2 kingdom ancestors were considered the lower ranks of the dark sacred world, then Palace Master Yuan Xiong could be considered among the high ranks. Palace Master truly has believed in me, Luo Feng said. Palace Master Yuan Xiong flipped his hand and handed Luo Feng a space bracelet, smiling. This is a small gift for our first meeting. The space bracelet was an ownerless object, and with just a thought, Luo Feng could sense what was inside. At that moment, Luo Feng was a bit stunned. Inside the space bracelet was a mountain-like pile of chaotic origin crystals, and they were not in individual pieces but cut into large blocks. Each of these large blocks was worth an entire chaotic origin crystal on its own. 5 billion chaotic origin crystals? Luo Feng was a bit dumbfounded. Just a small gift. Palace Master Yuan Xiong smiled. It's nothing significant. Luo Feng thought for a moment and then reached out to accept it. This gift was a heavy one. Accepting it meant he owed a great favor. But for his current situation, these 5 billion chaotic origin crystals were of immense help. Seeing Luo Feng accept it, Palace Master Yuan Xiong nodded with a smile. For now, just focus on your cultivation. You don't need to concern yourself with the other affairs in the city. Luo Feng nodded. Thank you, Palace Master. After watching Luo Feng leave, Palace Master Yuan Xiong felt a mix of emotions. The constant infiltration and torment of contamination are affecting me more and more. I don't know when I will completely collapse and have my consciousness obliterated. Palace Master Yuan Xiong felt powerless. Before I die, I should do something for the billions of cultivators here. After living in Yuan City for so long, he had developed feelings for it. He knew that a city could not exist forever, but he hoped Yuan City could last as long as possible. And in Luo Feng, he saw hope. Palace Master, in Outer City, Cloud 9 District, at the cave dwelling number 331297, the cultivator, Chu Feng God Emperor, is suspected of being controlled by a low-level chaotic origin life form. A voice sounded in Palace Master Yuan Xiong's ear. Monitor all of Chu Feng God Emperor's movements within the city, including his interactions with others. Palace Master Yuan Xiong ordered. Try to uncover more infiltrators. Understood. The voice responded respectfully. Palace Master Yuan Xiong felt utterly exhausted. The talents of the low-level chaotic origin life form race were diverse. Even with all his efforts, he could not completely prevent some of them from infiltrating the city. Those who sneaked in to kill? Palace Master Yuan Xiong didn't care much about them. What he worried about were those who infiltrated but remained dormant. Once these hidden infiltrators erupted into action, it would be a huge problem. At that moment, Luo Feng was also returning to his cave dwelling. By accepting this gift, among the 3 palace masters of Yuan City, I have effectively chosen a side. Luo Feng looked at the space bracelet on his wrist and smiled. Based on the intelligence he had gathered, he was already more inclined toward Palace Master Yuan Xiong. 10,000 epochs to reach that level? Palace Master has such high hopes for me? Luo Feng smiled as he flew into his cave dwelling. Luo Feng received 12 invitations, among which was the Palace Master Yuan Xiong. Luo Feng needed to visit him personally. The other 11 were all at the elder level, most of whom were not as strong as Luo Feng. After sending their invitation cards, these 11 elders came one after another to visit Luo Feng. Ha ha, brother Luo Feng, with just one battle, you easily defeated Elder Tianhe. You have truly made a name for yourself in Yuan City, said a strange-looking man in a purple robe with a smile. Deputy Palace Master Zhao Ju, have a seat. Luo Feng had already prepared some fruits and fine wine. Both parties sat down. Back then, I joined Qianbao Palace at Brother Qianbao's invitation. The strange-looking man sighed. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of millions of epochs had passed. Qianbao Palace was quite a well-known business in Yuan City at the time. Luo Feng nodded in praise. In terms of the quality of the weapons and secret treasures it sells, it should rank among the top 3 in Yuan City. Luo Feng was merely saying something pleasant. In reality, Qianbao Palace barely managed to rank 3rd in the weapons and secret treasure industry of Yuan City. That's already quite an achievement, the strange-looking man said. In Yuan City, Palace Master Gai Dao is absolutely dominant in this industry, holding more than 50% of the market share. The survival of other businesses is not easy. Luo Feng listened. The core powerhouse of Qianbao Palace was the Palace Master Qianbao, who was skilled in refining weapons. The Palace Master Qianbao was fully devoted to weapon refining and unwilling to be distracted by trivial matters. Thus, Deputy Palace Master Zhao Ju was responsible for sales and various other affairs. These 2 elder-level existences ruled over Qianbao Palace. The safety of the weapon and secret treasure industry is very important, the strange-looking man sighed. After all, when the number of weapons and secret treasures increases, their value becomes incredibly high. Whether it's cultivators or low-level chaotic origin life form who have infiltrated, they are always looking for opportunities. One theft that happened tens of thousands of epochs ago cost us over 10 billion chaotic origin crystals. The strange-looking man mocked himself. That time, nearly all the weapons and secret treasures we displayed externally were looted. We suffered a severe blow, and even now we haven't been able to determine the real identity of the perpetrators. What does stealing from weak cultivators even mean? In Yuan City, true plundering rarely targets small merchants. Large merchants like ours are the main targets. Even though Qianbao Palace has both Qianbao and myself, 2 elder-level existences, and we have formation defenses, we were still robbed. We couldn't even identify the perpetrators. The strange-looking man sighed. In fact, from another perspective, we can deduce that the plunderer must be one of the top 20 existences in the city. Only overwhelming strength could achieve such a feat. That's why we've come to invite you, Brother Luo Feng. The strange-looking man looked at Luo Feng. Brother Luo Feng, you easily defeated Elder Tianhe. In terms of strength, you must rank among the top 100 in Yuan City. With Qianbao, myself, and the fixed formations of Qianbao Palace, unless the 3 palace masters personally intervene, no one will be able to plunder us. Luo Feng's displayed strength was far beyond that of an ordinary elder. As long as you join Qianbao Palace, you will naturally become a deputy palace master, with a status equal to mine and Qianbao's. The strange-looking man continued, additionally, we can offer you 10,000 chaotic origin crystals per epoch. That means 100 million chaotic origin crystals over 10,000 epochs. This is a fairly standard income for elder-level existences. They don't need to venture outside the city to take risks, they can receive a steady stream of income. Although it's less than what one might earn from hunting, it is safer and more sustainable. Of course, the strange-looking man added, joining any faction comes with a signing bonus. We can offer you 200 million chaotic origin crystals. As you know, due to that past plundering, Qianbao Palace suffered heavy losses. So, this 200 million chaotic origin crystals will be paid in 2 installments, one upon your joining, and the other after 10,000 epochs. 200 million chaotic origin crystals as a signing bonus? And paid in 2 installments? Luo Feng looked at him. Generally, elder-level existences received around this amount, but he was not just any ordinary elder. If he were weaker than Elder Tianhe, Qianbao Palace wouldn't have invited him in the first place. Wasn't this offer a bit low? The strange-looking man smiled. But Brother Luo Feng, you come from the origin world and have many clones. You can easily join multiple factions. Moreover, Qianbao Palace is under Palace Master Wei Yang. You know that Palace Master Yuan is seriously injured and rarely makes a move now. In the future, Yuan City will be ruled by Palace Master Wei Yang. If you join Qianbao Palace, you will naturally become part of Palace Master Wei Yang's faction. Luo Feng nodded. I understand Deputy Palace Master Zhao Ju's offer. To be honest, compared to other invitations, it is a bit low. The strange-looking man's expression changed slightly. Brother Luo Feng, since you have multiple clones, please consider helping us. Qianbao Palace will certainly remember this favor. I will think about it, Luo Feng said as he stood up, signaling the end of the conversation. The strange-looking man had no choice but to stand up and leave. Just sending a single clone, and he still thinks it's not enough? He was quite dissatisfied, but there was nothing he could do. Qianbao Palace was simply too poor at the moment. One by one, elder-level existences came to visit Luo Feng. Before meeting with Palace Master Yuan, Luo Feng had indeed planned to send clones to join several factions to secure a stable income to support his early cultivation. But ever since receiving Palace Master Yuan's gift of 5 billion chaotic origin crystals, Luo Feng's thinking had changed. Brother Di Qing. Luo Feng met with Di Qing. In the past couple of days, quite a few elder-level existences have come to visit you, Brother Luo Feng. Di Qing said with a smile. 11 factions have invited me. Help me evaluate which one is the best choice. Luo Feng waved his hand, and various pieces of information floated in mid-air, detailed data on the 11 invitations. Di Qing looked up at the information and instantly memorized everything. Brother Luo Feng, how many factions do you plan to join? Di Qing asked. Just one is enough. Luo Feng said firmly. You have so many clones. Why not maximize your earnings? Di Qing couldn't help but say. Each of these 11 factions is offering signing bonuses in the hundreds of millions. If it were me, I would definitely join several. Luo Feng shook his head. Just one is enough. I'll choose a neutral faction or one aligned with Palace Master Yuan. Palace Master Yuan, this faction is relatively weak now. Di Qing said. Among these 11 forces, 4 can remain neutral, 2 are on bad terms with Palace Master Yuan. In terms of conditions, Dan Tower offers better. Tower Master Chang Qing of the Dan Tower also has a good reputation. But choosing Dan Tower will bring a lot of trouble. Dan Tower and the insect nest have always been in conflict. If there were no trouble, they wouldn't offer so many benefits. Luo Feng nodded. I also lean toward Dan Tower. Let's go with it. Among the 11 factions that invited Luo Feng, he chose only one, Dan Tower. Di Fu. Luo Feng called out. Very soon, Di Fu arrived immediately. Brother Luo Feng. Di Fu said. What's going on? Good news? Di Fu smiled. Have a seat. Luo Feng looked at the 3 present and said, many factions in Yuan City have invited me, and I have decided to choose Dan Tower and serve as its deputy tower master. According to what Tower Master Chang Qing said before, he also invites the 3 of you to join. Dan Tower, as a major faction, could easily arrange 3 positions for Di Qing, Di Ming, and Di Fu, which was beneficial in many ways. Are you 3 willing to join? Luo Feng asked with a smile. Of course, I'm willing. Di Fu immediately replied. I couldn't ask for more. Di Ming responded without hesitation. If we don't have to take risks and can get resources easily, who would refuse such a good thing? Di Qing was also very pleased. As a middle-stage God Emperor Dao cultivator, he would normally only be offered a mid to high-level position when joining a faction. But mid to high-level positions were very limited. Who would invite him unless they completely trusted him? Because of Luo Feng, Dan Tower was willing to invite them as well. Di Qing only needed to assign a clone to take the position, and he would have a steady stream of income. Since you all agree, I will contact Tower Master Chang Qing now. Luo Feng nodded. In the weapons and treasure industry, Palace Master Gai Dao's family in Yuan City was the absolute dominant force, controlling more than half the market. But the alchemy industry was fiercely competitive, with no single faction having an overwhelming share. Dan Tower was one of the top forces in Yuan City's alchemy industry. "Brother Luo Feng, I have waited for you." A silver-haired old man greeted him enthusiastically. "Yesterday, so many people visited you, Brother Luo Feng. I was very uneasy. I was afraid my little Dan Tao wouldn't be able to invite you. When I received your message today, I have been excited ever since." Luo Feng was different from ordinary elders. Even by conservative estimates, Luo Feng had the absolute strength to rank in the top 100 in Yuan City, and many factions even believed Luo Feng might have strength within the top 50. Having such a mastiff in any faction would make it much safer. "From now on, I am a member of Dan Tower," Luo Feng said with a smile. Luo Feng greets the Tower Master. "Brother Luo Feng, no need to be so polite." The silver-haired old man smiled brightly. The silver-haired old man sighed and said, "Speaking of which, I am also one of the oldest elders who built this city together with Palace Master Yuan Xiong. However, as Palace Master Yuan Xiong has been affected by the pollution of high-level chaotic origin lifeform, he has taken action less and less. We old fellows have not had an easy time, especially after the insect nest master came to Yuan City. He has been targeting me everywhere." "Oh?" Luo Feng was surprised. "The insect nest master is also skilled in alchemy?" The silver-haired old man said disdainfully, "The insect nest master can only extract some essence from the lives he absorbs and turn it into medicine. But his school is bloody and evil. I look down on it." The silver-haired old man sighed again. "Unfortunately, the insect nest master is strong and domineering. When he couldn't outcompete us in business, he started using other tactics. But now that we have Brother Luo Feng, things will be different." The silver-haired old man looked at Luo Feng and said, "Brother Luo Feng, you can study Dan Tower's formations. Whatever kind of formation you need, just let me know, and I will purchase the most suitable ones for you. Also, here is the agreed payment of 500 million chaotic origin crystals." The silver-haired old man flipped his hand and took out a cloth bag, offering the entire sum at once. It was clearly a very high amount. As someone who had built the city alongside Palace Master Yuan Xiong, his wealth accumulation was indeed impressive. "Tower Master, please take back these 500 million chaotic origin crystals." Luo Feng smiled and said, "I plan to exchange all of them for various auxiliary elixirs within Dan Tower." "Oh?" The silver-haired old man was delighted to hear that. Using all of it to buy elixirs meant they could recover some of the funds. Even if the three great palace masters buy elixirs, they only get a 30% discount at most. The silver-haired old man looked at Luo Feng. "Brother Luo Feng, as a deputy tower master of the Dan Tower, you will buy at the same price as me, the lowest, at a 40% discount." Even when Tower Master Changqing himself took elixirs, he had to pay chaotic origin crystals, and the price was set at a 40% discount. This price barely had any profit. But at least it turned the accumulated elixirs into a solid 500 million chaotic origin crystal income, so Tower Master Changqing was very happy. "A 40% discount? Thank you, Tower Master." Luo Feng expressed his gratitude. "You're welcome." The silver-haired old man laughed heartily. "By the way, Brother Luo Feng, will your three hometown friends also come to Dan Tower?" "Of course, the three of them are willing," Luo Feng said. "As for what roles they will take, Tower Master can decide based on their abilities." "Good." The silver-haired old man's smile grew even brighter. Cultivators from the same origin world naturally had closer relationships. Winning over those three was, in a way, also a means of strengthening ties with Luo Feng. After all, relying solely on resources to win someone over was not always a stable method. With God Emperor Luo Feng here, Dan Tower's business can now operate normally again. The silver-haired old man thought to himself. The previous days had been too stifling. Because of Dan Tower's conflict with the insect nest, no elder-level existences were willing to join. Until today, finally waited for Luo Feng. This video will end here.